welcome back everybody. Today is Wednesday, April the 19th. It's been roughly 1 week since my last seedling update, and I plan on potting up some of these today. If you take a quick glance of what's here, you'll notice one in particular really doing well and is much taller than all the rest. Unfortunately, it's going to be his downfall. I'm not going to put any more time and effort into growing these because they're at a height now that I don't have any place to put them properly under lights. I moved these guys from these grow shelves to my original one because I have way more height in this shelf for taller plants and seedlings. But I've never had seedlings this tall. These guys are about 12 inches, 1 foot tall already. And the problem is they're so tall that they're touching the lights and burning. You can see how much leaf damage is here. And that's just because they're just way too close to the lights over there. And I don't really have another place to house them. I could put them upstairs with my other houseplants by the patio door. The problem is I have 2 cats and they're going to think that this is for them because they don't know the difference between this and the cat grass that I usually grow for them. So I'm going to have to dump these, and I will plant a new set, and they can go out into the garden on the May 2-4 weekend, and they won't be this tall. It kind of sucks. I don't like giving things life only to, kill it and throw it away. But like I said, it doesn't make sense to continue the time and effort. If you refer to the garden planner link that I have down in the description, it's the plan for my garden that I'm growing. If you look at the plant list, you'll see that corn right here. They're saying actually I started growing this in April, so the end of March, April, I can't remember. Yeah, I think it was in March. So these have been growing in here for a long time. The planner says to actually start them indoors at the beginning of May and then plant them out mid-May, and then you harvest later on in the year. Just to see the color code, the blue stands for sow indoors, the green is sow or plant outdoors, and the orange is harvest. So in my previous video, I had mentioned that I still have time to plant directly outside, but I changed my mind about direct planting or sowing directly outside because raccoons apparently love corn plants. People that grow corn have complained about this. Raccoons will dig up the kernels that you have planted, so it becomes a little bit of a pain in the butt. I've heard of trying different things like blood meal or bone meal with the seeds and stuff. Apparently raccoons don't care. They'll just dig them up and eat them. So I'll start another set. They'll be a little bit smaller, but at least they won't be this height, and they'll have a good start inside. So that's what I'm going to do. These will end up being dumped. The zinnias are good to go. They are, like I said, are going to be just ornamental, so I'll probably plant them up in these 10-inch pots, probably like 3 per pot. Whatever's left over, I'll put in the smaller, the regular, the 2-inch or 3-inch pots that I'm potting up everything else in, and they'll make their way outside if I have extra. The marigolds, same thing. They're doing really well. I believe I don't need the amount of plants that I have here, so I will have extra left over. I've had someone ask me for some of these already, so they'll be good to go. The kale, broccoli, eggplant, and okras. Also, I'll be thinning out. Yeah, because I don't need the amount of kale and broccoli that I have here. I tend to oversow when I'm doing the seeds because you can't really control the success rate of the seeds. So, like for example, if I only need 4 plants, I have learned don't just plant 4 seeds because there's no guarantee that all 4 seeds will germinate. So I oversow and then I thin back to what I'm going to need. So I will have some extras of these as well. Same thing with the eggplant. All of them came up. They're showing their first set of true leaves as well. And the okras. I was a bit concerned about the okras because of their height, and they seem very tall compared to everything else, and I was worried that I didn't have them to the proper height of the lights. I'm not too sure. But any other videos I've seen of people growing okra, the seedlings are typically like tall and lanky like this. They're not like flopping over or anything. They're sturdy stems. They almost feel like little twigs. So apparently this is normal. So those are good to go as well. Snow peas, if you look closely, it looks like they have powdery mildew on it. Powdery mildew is a fungus that covers the leaves of the plants in like a white coating. It doesn't really damage the plant, it just doesn't look too appealing. But that's usually spread through the air if you have plants outside, other plants in the area, and the spores spread from plant to plant. These were totally grown indoors. And when I was growing these to I mean to use just as vegetable, the same thing happened. So I don't believe it's powdery mildew because everything else on the plant looks absolutely healthy. And I think that's just the way they are. I am a bit nervous about transplanting these outside because from what I've read, peas in general just don't like being transplanted. They always recommend that you plant them outdoors. Direct sow, I mean outdoors. So we'll see what happens with these because I am going to be transplanting these into the small pots, and then May 2-4 weekend the plan is to plant them outdoors. So we'll see how I'll try to be as gentle as I can. The choy sum, they are developing their first set of true leaves, some of them their second set of true leaves, so I should be thinning these out. I don't need this amount, and these guys grow pretty big, so I plan on planting them in the white pots as well, like I did with the iceberg lettuce. So I will probably end up thinning down each one of these pods to 1 or 2 plants instead of the multitude that I have here. And finally, the pothos and mint. The pothos cuttings, as you can see from the roots, are more than ready to go. I just probably won't do it tonight because I have all of these to deal with. So they'll be planted up at some point. And the mint, there's 2 solo cups here, but I'm going to pick the ones that are doing really well. Some of them don't look that great, and putting them in one pot. These were for my mom. I don't use mint in anything I do, but she seems to like it, so that's what I'm going to do. And there's my cup of tea. I was looking for that. Anyways, that's it. I'm going to start planting up. Saying goodbye to these guys. Bye-bye, guys. You did well. But it's time to do other things. You did too well. That was your fault, not mine. Anyways, that's it. Going to start potting up the stuff now. One last thing I forgot to mention, move my teacup again, is the mats on the heating mats on these grow stands have been off ever since these guys germinated. I had mentioned it before that once your seeds have germinated, you don't need the heat mats anymore. You can keep them on, but they don't really do any benefit. There's a huge benefit when the seeds are germinating because most seeds like a certain heat temperature when they are just starting out like that. But once they have germinated, and you'll notice it's in here, some of these didn't germinate. Like there's an example, the corn is the same thing. So I just waited until the majority rules of the seeds had germinated, and at that point I turned off the power to the heat mats. I'll do another video at some point, a quick video just giving you a quick rundown of how much electricity and power one grow stand uses in 1 month. It's incredibly low. It's lower than I thought too. And I did a calculation for each one of them. My original one, this one that I did last year, and the newest one. And I'm proud to say that I've gotten more efficient in time. They are still way more efficient than using the bulbs like these. The what do you call them? Not incandescent, fluorescent bulbs. They're way more, because all these are LED bulbs. So all of these are still way more efficient than using the fluorescent bulbs. But they do suck a certain amount of power. So turning off the heat mats after the seeds germinated saves you a little bit of money. So keep that in mind if you're doing this. You don't need your heat mats on the whole time that you are bringing your seedlings to maturity so that you can take them outside. Now I'm going to start potting up.